Hey everyone, it's Jason. We have an unboxing today for Zombicide second edition. So the modern version, we have Danny Trejo, the badass survivor, and Zombicide. Uh, Danny Trejo, the famous Mexican-American actor who's been in such films as Con Air, Dead Till Dawn, Desperado, Machete, one of those big films, and of course the Spy Kids films, as well as TV shows like Sons of Anarchy and, oddly enough, Young and the Reckless, which he has more episodes on than Son of Anarchy. Um, Thought that was interesting when I was looking this up. So we get a cool new survivor and some zombies for him. So this is kind of neat. It's a little specialty set that came out during the Kickstarter. But it's neat to go over so that way you can see if it's something you're willing to pick up. If you're a huge fan of this character, it's way to pick up. It's one of the few characters that's actually the character. Because most of the time they do homages to characters. Oh, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. The only other ones from second edition is they did the presidential set, but even those are, you can almost say, are somewhat homages, because obviously it's supposed to be this person, that person, but they had to call them all like President 16 and President number 42. They couldn't call them, George Bush and Abraham Lincoln. So this is one of the only characters that is really the exact same character, like name-wise, everything. It's exactly the same person. The exceptions to that rule are some of the crossover sets, which are the Ghostbusters, Supernatural, Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Supernatural, where they actually use the characters from those shows or cartoons. But yeah, there's no other real people that have a full actual character. I mean, we've had various stuff from all the different stuff. We've had Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, Stranger Things, Monty Python stuff, which I guess is to be another one. We've had ones like homages to them, and we've actually had Monty Python box set now. And like Iron Maiden. Yeah, so a lot of different characters, Star Wars characters, musician characters, Prince, Beyonce, a ton of different other people like that. And none of them have ever actually been named. They're always options. This is kind of a neat little set. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's look at the miniature quick. And then we'll look at some of his rules. So here is his miniature. As a survivor, he just gets one of the regular orange, and he then runs around with his double machetes. He got a gold chain with a cross around his neck. He's got his ponytail. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his badass tattoos. But you can't really print them on mini sets. The only thing that'd be interesting is to figure out how to paint this to make sure it looks like he has his tattoos, or he just might have to kind of just ignore them. But yeah, it's cool. He gets his double machetes. So let's look at his character card. So he's going to have a special ability right off the bat in blue called Danny Trejo. He just gets his 100% named ability. So we're going to flip that over and look at exactly what that does. It says, Danny Trejo, roll an extra die with melee actions performed with machetes. The extra die amount scales with the survivor's danger level. Dual machetes each gain these additional dice. So when you're at the blue level, he gets one extra dice for each machete he has. If he has two of them, he gets two extra dice, of course. Yellow, he gets 2 dice. Orange, he gets 3. And if red, he gets 4. So yeah, if he survives with dual machetes up to level 4, he's rolling 8 extra dice. Which can definitely make him a definite badass, which is why they call him that. What does he have to go with that, though? It's also interesting, though. He does not have an additional blue one that says starts with. It says starts with machete. I almost kind of thought they would have had him do that. But in yellow, he has one action, of course. In orange, he has barbarian. And then he has bloodlust melee. Barbarian lets him dual wield any weapon, regardless. No. Barbarian lets him roll dice equal to the number of zombies in the zone, and he gets to roll dice for them versus whatever his weapon might say. But then he also gets his plus extra. Bloodlust melee, anytime he takes out one zombie, he can take out one of the same type. In red, he has +1 free combat action or +1 die roll for melee, because he needs more dice rolls, right? Or he gets shoved. He can actually just shove everyone away from him. Just his powers. He gets surrounded by guys, just swinging machetes around, doing whirlwind attacks, and then he just shoves everyone away so he can get away if he needs to. Or he can run into a group of enemies, shove everyone out of the way, and then he can start hunting them down like 1 or 2 at a time versus taking on a giant group. Really cool. Alright, so let's look at a little blurb here quick. In this time of unimaginable horrors, the world needs a hero they can depend on. A hero who's merciless to his enemies and compassionate to his friends. A hero that can use every weapon knowing a man and never hesitates to step into danger to help others. In short words, the world needs Danny Trejo. That's right, the Mexican-American badass brings his incredible skills to the zombie apocalypse just in time to save the world. Unless he happens to get bitten. That would be horrible. Worse than horrible, a walking Armageddon is what that would be. I mean, yikes. Unfortunately, that can't happen. Can it? Yes, we're going to get some extra stuff there. So it does explain his abilities there. Then we actually get a zombie version, because he does get bit. And he becomes a zombie, unfortunately. He can only take down so many hordes, right? Yeah, so here we have, like, all of his ponytail came undone. So his hair is kind of full and his pants are all raggedy. He didn't have a shirt, but it looks like they made it look like he had a shirt that tore off. Or maybe his belt came undone here. So that's kind of cool as well. So I might get a little bit closer up there. But yeah, that would have been neat though if they had it where he still had one of the machetes. I would have loved like a machete like sticking out of him. That would have definitely been cool. Like somebody like took his machete and just had it like buried like in his chest or something. That would have been kind of cool. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. Alright, so we get cards number 81, 82, and 83. Of course, they have the zombie on the back. And they are do one of the following. So when you get a Trejo, you're going to do one of the following. The Trejo Abomination on the board, 1 extra activation. We'll look at him in a second. Otherwise, we have the Trejo Walker, who we just saw, is on the board. He turns into the Trejo Abomination. And then the third thing, if there's no Trejo Abomination or Trejo Walker on the board, spawn a Walker. So first of all, if you draw this card, you're going to spawn him into a Walker. And then if he's our Walkers on the board, you're going to turn into the Abomination. And if you get the Abomination, he gets an additional attack. Then we have 84, 85, and 86, which is Trejo Rush. Do one of the following. If Trejo Abomination on the board, he gains an extra activation. If the Walker's on the board, it turns into the Abomination. If none of them are, you spawn the Walker and then activate it. So he has 6 cards that are basically going to let him either spawn the Walker, transform into the Abomination, or give him an extra activation. So he basically gets 6 cards for that. But then he also has the potential, if he's the Walker, he gets a free activation as well. So what does the Abomination look like? He grew huge. So that's what I'm talking about, right? Look at it. He has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 machetes sticking out of him? No, that's what I mean. Like, that's badass, right? He's got, like, the goat hooded things that kind of do, like, some of the earlier ones. He doesn't have all the spikes on, which I kind of like. But yeah, it's like he kind of raged out. Still like he has a little cross on him. I love they kept that little detail. Kept his face small so you can still see who he was. So let's just look at the pictures here again quick. So let's look at the 2 different pictures of them. Definitely neat. I like the skin tone being like a little bit darker on them if you can somehow manage to paint it like that. Definitely cool. Alright, so then what do the Abominations do? So let's look at their rules. Adding Danny Trejo as a zombie in your game is easy. Simply put the corresponding zombie cards into the deck Please note the 3 of these cards trigger a Trejo Rush. The Trejo Walker. Wounds dealt 1 damage, or dealt 1, to eliminate 1 damage, adrenaline provided 1 point. Special rules. The Walker Trejo has the same target and priority levels as any other Walker. It does not benefit from Walker extra activations. The Walker Trejo transforms into Trejo Abomination whenever another Trejo zombie card is drawn. If there's already an Abomination on the board, it overrides the normal limitation, allowing for Trejo to enter the board as an extra Abomination. So you can actually have 2 on the board then. Not 2 of him, but 2 Abominations. Because he doesn't care. Another Walker Trejo cannot be spawned as long as the Trejo Abomination is on the board. So if the Trejo Abomination gets defeated, and you draw another Walker card, you can summon him back. He'll just keep coming back. The Trejo Abomination deals 3 wounds, takes 3 damage to eliminate. Adrenaline provides 5. Special, the horror of every survivor still standing, Doom stalks the street in the form of the Trejo Abomination. Although it's an Abomination, it does not have its own Abomination card. That doesn't make it less dangerous. So its extra activation of a Trejo zombie card is drawing. All Abomination rules from the basic gameplay apply to him. So he doesn't have any extra special crazy rules, but he does have the fact is once you get him drawn, which you take at least 2 cards to do. The first one to spawn the Walker, and the second one to turn him into it. But that means you have 4 other extra activation cards just sitting there waiting. And you don't really want a big guy just to pop up with multiple extra activations. But yeah, so that's what we have there. So now, very simple. Gets you an extra 3 little things to do. Different way to play as an Abomination that transforms. We haven't seen that too many times. New Survivor, the actual ability lets you play around with machetes, which is really cool. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later. Bye.